we will look at the use of in and within. When we say in at the end of a period of time, we will say within when we use before the end of a period of time. So that's what we are going to do. The fourth one. We are talking about the use of in. When we say in, when we are using the preposition in, then we say we mean at the end of a period of time. We mean at the end. At the end of a period of time. But then when we say within, when you use the word within, when we use the word within, then we are talking about before the end of the period of time. We are talking about before the end of, before the end of a period of time. So when you're talking about in, you say at the end of a period of time. When it said within, before the end of a period of time. Now let's look at the examples here. The first example I have here is, I shall return in an hour. I shall. I shall return. I shall return in an hour. In, I'm using in here. In an hour. One more example. I shall return. He will return in a week. He will return. He will return. He will return in a week. In a week. He will return in a week. Now let's look at within. Okay, we're talking about within. I shall return within an hour. I shall return within an hour. Within an hour. Another example. He will return within this week. He will return. He will return within this week. Within this week. This week. Now, when you talk about within, we are talking about before the end of a period of time. So, I shall return within an hour. He will return within this week. When you talk about usage of in at the end of a period of time, I shall return in an hour. He will return in a week. Okay, so the usage of in and within. Next, we are going to look at the usage of for and since. When will you use for? When you say for, where will you use for? For is used to denote a period of time. For is used to denote a period of time. Okay? So we are talking about when you say for is used to denote a period of time. Period of time. Now let's look at the examples we have here. He has been sleeping for 2 hours. For. He has been. He has been sleeping. He has been sleeping for. Has been sleeping for 2 hours. 2 hours. Then he has been sleeping. He has been sleeping he has been sleeping for the last 4 hours. The last 4 hours. So when you're talking about a period of time, we use for. Now let's look at the word. We're going to use since. When you use the word since, when you use the word since, we are talking about, it denotes a point of time. Okay? To denote a point of time. Since is used to denote a point of time. Denote a point of time. Now, I have not eaten since yesterday. I have not. I have not eaten. I have not eaten since yesterday. Since yesterday. Next. He has been sleeping since 6 o'clock. He has been. He has been sleeping since. Since 6 a.m. The 6 a.m. He has been sleeping since 6 a.m. So the usage. We have done the use of preposition for. In and within. In is used at the end of a period of time. I shall return in an hour. He will return in a week. And within is used before the end of a period of time. I shall return within an hour. He will return within this week. Then we have the use of for to denote the period of time. He has been sleeping for 2 hours. He has been sleeping for the last 4 hours. Since is used, the preposition since is used to denote a point of time. I have not eaten since yesterday. He has been sleeping since 6 a.m. So while you do a lot of exercise, practice will make us perfect. We have 3 more use of prepositions before we go into exercises. So 6th one we are doing, and the word here is in. We are going to use in. Okay. When we talk about in, what do we mean? In, to denote a period of time. In is used to denote a period of time. A period of time. Now let's look at what I mean. First, I can finish the project in 1 day. I can finish. I can finish the project. I can finish the project in in 1 day. Another one. He came. Born. He was born. Was born in. He was born in a small village. In a small village. He was born in a small village. Now we are talking about at. We have the word at. Now, when is the preposition at used? At is used to denote a point of time. At is used to denote a point of time. A point of time. Now let's look at the examples. The example here is, he will finish the work. He will finish. He will finish the work. He will finish the work at 6 o'clock. We'll finish the work at 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock. Then another, she lives at the crossroads. She lives. Or you can say, he came. He came at daybreak. He came at daybreak. Daybreak. So we are looking at to denote a point of time. He will finish the work at 6 o'clock. He came at daybreak. Okay? Now, the 7th one. The 7th use of preposition, and we are talking about besides. We are going to look at the word beside. Beside What is the meaning beside? When you talk about beside, mean by the side of. We are talking about beside means by the side of. By the side. By the side of. Now let's look at the examples. The boy slept beside me. The boy slept beside. The boy slept beside. The boy slept beside the table. Okay, one more usage. She sat beside me. She sat. She sat beside me. She sat beside me. Okay. So, beside is used when? It is used by the side, the meaning by the side. Where did the boy sleep? Beside the table. Where did she sit? Beside me. The next one is besides. Besides. Beside. B-E-S-I-D-E-S. Besides. Now, how is this beside used? It is used, it means in addition to. When we're talking about beside, we mean in addition to. In addition. In addition to. That's what we mean by besides. Now let's look at the examples. Besides food, one also needs money. Besides food. Besides food, one also needs money. Besides food. Food, one also needs money. Besides, when we use, we mean in addition to. Besides food, one also needs money. Okay. Next one. Besides being fined, besides being fined, he was also punished. Besides being fined, he was also punished. That is the use of beside, mean in addition to. Besides food, in addition to food, we need money. Besides being fined, he has to pay fine, he was also punished. Okay. Now, the eighth use of preposition. We come to the eighth one, and the word we have here is between. We have here between. When we talk about between, then we say two people. When you say among, more than two people. So we have between, that is between two people. So let's see how we use it. Example, share these oranges. Share these oranges. Share these oranges between. No, two people. Between. Share these oranges. Between Anne and Sam. Share these oranges between. That means when you say between two people. Okay. The quarrel rose between two sisters. The quarrel. The quarrel rose between. What arose between two sisters. Between the two sisters. The two sisters. Now we're going to talk about between is over, and the next one we are looking at is among. We're talking about among. When you say among, more than two people. Okay? You're talking about among, then it means more than two persons. Okay. The three sisters fought among themselves. The three sisters three sisters fought among the three sisters fought among themselves. Themselves. We're using among for more than two people. Okay? Slavery still exists among the tribes. Slavery still exists. Still exists among some tribes. Slavery exists among some tribes. Some tribes. Now that comes to the end of the usage of prepositions. We use between when you talk about two people. Share these oranges between Anne and Sam. The quarrel arose between the two sisters. When you talk about among, it is more than two people. The three sisters fought among themselves. Slavery still exists among some tribes.